Rules and Resolution Committee to order. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Alderman Rhodey, Alderman Kennedy, Alderman Vollmer,
Here. Present.
Alderman Vaccaro, Vice Chairwoman Engrossment, Chairwoman Davis,
Present.
4 present. You have a quorum.
Thank you. We have before us resolution number
72.
72. Alderman Vaccaro, would you like to go ahead and open with, please?
You'll probably make a motion, place the amendment.
Right.
And I'd like to make a motion that we amended. I took out the very last.
You'd like to make the motion before you discuss?
Yeah, you make a motion.
I make a
place it
motion, we
before
amend.
us.
We have a motion before us for resolution number 72, Amendment AA. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Alderman Rhodey, Alderman Kennedy, Alderman Vollmer.
Present. Oh, aye.
Aye. Aye.
Sorry.
Alderman Vaccaro,
Aye.
Vice Chairwoman Engrossment. Chairwoman Davis.
Aye.
The resolution as amended stands before you for discussion.
Go right ahead, sir.
Okay, and everybody has it in front of them. It just takes out that last line because the General Assembly does not have authorization to,
Cut and paste gone awry by the chair, by the clerk.
I'm sorry, what?
It was a mistake on my
Oh,
part. Error on
that's
my
okay. So they can't enact legislation which supersedes provisions of the Charter of City of St. Louis. That's struck out, the rest of it's the same.
Okay.
And it's just a simple resolution asking the governor to veto board bill, Senate bill to House Bill 722. And my belief is that if he would veto this, it would give us more time to work on the minimum wage bill, which I believe does not. And I believed it when we got it, and I believe that it's going to take a lot of time to work through that to come up with a reasonable compromise. So, and the only way I see that happening is if this gets vetoed, we can work on this over the summer months and come back in the fall and, you know. Now, I don't know if the governor will veto it or not, but I figured we'd send him a message.
Okay, so this is self-explanatory. I'll go ahead and see if we have any questions, please. Alderman Vollmer?
No questions.
Okay, Alderwoman Engrossment?
No questions.
Okay. I don't have any specific questions on this. I just wanted to see if there were any other aldermen that wanted to speak on this. Alderman Cone?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I am actually here to speak in opposition to this resolution. While I think it's a very good faith attempt to make our position known to the governor in terms of where we stand pertaining to House Bill 722, I think the gesture is nice. However, as it pertains to our own business here at the Board of Aldermen, specifically Board Bill 83, this does absolutely nothing. The governor can certainly veto it. I hope that he does veto it, not only for the provisions pertaining to minimum wage, but there's other issues that pertain to municipalities and local control contained within that House bill that I think are really not good for cities in the state of Missouri. So, however, even if the governor vetoes House Bill 722, the General Assembly convenes, which I'm not sure if the folks who have signed on to this resolution are aware of, but they convene an annual veto session in September, which is following the August 28th deadline that's provided for minimum wage implementation in the state of Missouri by municipalities. So the governor can certainly veto this. I believe he has until July 15th to do so. Which is obviously after we normally convene for summer recess. We won't be able to get back in time to have the discussion or continue to have the discussion on Board Bill 83 before that August 28th deadline and before we even know if there's a veto on House Bill 722. So, my point is that this does absolutely nothing as it pertains to the board bill that we're discussing. And, while I certainly would like to have the governor's veto on, HB 722, this does absolutely nothing in terms of extending the time frame as it pertains to the minimum wage debate that we're having here locally.
Okay, any questions of the speaker? We'll start with Alderman Rhodey. Would you like for me to come back to you?
Yes, that'd be fine.
All right. Alderman Vollmer?
While I agree with you, I do not support the resolution, but I also don't support the minimum wage, because as long as it's only in the city of St. Louis, I agree, everyone needs to make more money. You're cutting the throats of business owners in the city of St. Louis. I am considerate of everyone who works and works hard. I have employees, I've owned my own business for 26 years. Something I don't believe a lot of people supporting it have done. When you work and hire people, and you find good people, you pay them very well. And that's how I've had one employee for almost 18 years now, taking care of, what you do is what you do. But to take a section, a 62 square mile place and say, this is what you get minimum wage here, and this is what you get if you just cross over to Maplewood, might as well just put close signs on businesses, Shane. Thank you, sir. That's my comment. Looking for no answers.
Okay, Alderman Vaccaro?
I'll mostly save my comments for Friday, but everything Joe said, by all the calls I've gotten, and I still go back to to put a bill in front of us with this kind of impact on the city without the proper time to do studies is not right. I agree that minimum wage should come up. I believe it should come up through the state. I just strongly believe that in order to reach a reasonable compromise and not shove something down people's throats in either direction, we need time. That's what this resolution gives us.
This resolution actually does not give us time.
Well, that's your opinion. Mine's different. And besides, I'm just making a statement. That's your opinion. I'll take that. But the issue is there's just no way.
How does this resolution give us time?
If he vetoes it and we have more time to work on this bill should have been
But the
more
veto
time.
can be overridden in September, which is more than likely going to happen.
Well, to do this bill in a 3-week period of time, it should have never been put in front of us that short a time. That's why it's taken all the way to the last meeting even to pull it around the committee. Less than 30 days to pass major, and I mean major legislation. I did sit down, and I sat down with you, I sat down with Jobs with Justice people, I sat down with different groups, and I'm telling you, there is no easy bill. And to do that kind of legislation, it will put businesses out of business. It'll cause people to change what they're doing. It'll affect summer help for people. I'll save all my comments. It's not a question, it was a comment. I'll save them for Friday.
All right, sir. Alderwoman Engrossment?
I don't have any questions, just wanted to say thank you for spearheading the minimum wage legislation and for the meaningful improvements that you've tried to work through, and I am still supportive of that effort.
I appreciate that.
Alderman Brody, are you ready now?
No question.
No questions? Okay. I guess I don't have a question, but I have a comment. And I have a comment that takes me to my understanding, okay? And so my understanding is the resolution can't hurt anything, nor will it help, but it does send a message, okay? The timeline, surely this won't help with the timeline because we won't be back in session in order to work. And even if we do come back for a special session, we would need a minimum of 3 meetings, maybe 4, in order to execute something meaningful out of this body. So again, we won't have time to do that. Secondly, there's a supermajority to veto anything in Jefferson City. And at any point in time they want to use it, they use it. So maybe some of their consciences will be okay. And as you know, I was very much opposed in the very beginning to the minimum wage bill because I know too many small businesses that would have been hurt dramatically. And what a lot of people don't know and understand about small business, they go above and beyond just the salary that they have for individuals. I have a friend that he has like 18 employees, but all of them have full health care. They wouldn't get that anywhere else, and they're not high school graduates or anything. And then he helps them when they, when they need to get a car and help them, just help. And that you don't get that, with other types of jobs with higher income. But I know you've been working very hard on this, and others have been working very hard on it. I expect to hear and see some changes that make more sense. And we can always go along with things that make more sense and also give people enough time to acclimate themselves, adjust their business practice, and also look at other ways that they can probably supplement their employees' ability to, number one, move forward. That's the other topic that was never discussed in all of this. About the jobs that we're talking about, the majority of them, they were never intended to be the job that you stayed on 30 years. And those industries don't have a lot of profit anyway. And so the conversation should be helping people to move to a better quality of life with more education and a number of other things, so that those jobs can be there for the high school junior and senior who's going to work, for the retired senior citizen who needs a job, or for the mom who just wants to work 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day while the kids are in school. That's what many of those jobs were designed for. So I just like healthier conversations, and not I'm against it because of the messenger, or I'm against it, just because, but work through it. That's why we're here.
No, I agree.
So.
Be clear, though, the resolution, and I appreciate you striking out the last part of it, because that was a very big contention of mine, because the State General Assembly does have the authority to do that. I stand opposed to it, namely because I think that, it's being presented as a way to prolong the conversation on Board Bill 83, which I would welcome the opportunity to be able to prolong that conversation. However, even with the governor's veto of this, the time frame still stands that we need to pass that out by August 28th. Mm-hmm. And I think that needs to be very clear to our colleagues that even passing this resolution and even the governor's veto of that House bill does nothing to extend that deadline of August 28th at all. So it's not as though we can take this bill back up when we come back in the fall. This is something that we have to continue having discussions on. And unfortunately, that is not happening right now. And so that's the reason I'm here when my mom is getting ready to have surgery today.
Okay, well, I do understand your position, and I hope that all those who have the power to help move this forward are looking at it and have a plan, and they don't come up with an 11th hour plan where we all cannot participate. That's another problem that we have. People make arrangements when they have known for 6 months when they're going out of session. So we need to make it known what it is we're going to do. Alderman Kennedy, Rhodey. Okay. Any more questions or comments? No.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else who, I thought I saw, no, okay. Alderman, you ready to close?
So I just close by saying I would ask for approval to send this out to be discussed on resolution 72 as amended.
Okay, I'll call for a vote.
Okay, we need
I didn't hear
to make
what
a
it,
motion in a second.
did you make a motion?
Well, yeah, I did. I thought
Okay,
I did.
you made-
I'd like to make a motion that we pass this out to be discussed,
Okay, do I have a
resolution
second?
72 as amended.
Do I have a second?
So it just kind of dies.
No
on-
second. Motion fails for lack of a second.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Right.
guys.
Meeting adjourned.